In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a song structure and arrangement for any genre or style of music that you're working on. So let's get started. What is up, everyone? Welcome to another tutorial. I am your host and founder of SOUNDSHOCK, Daniel. And if you guys want to learn all things music production related when it comes to mixing, mastering, sound design, and arrangement, go ahead and click the subscribe button and the bell notification next to it so you don't miss when I release a new video. Also, if you guys have any personal tips and tricks on how to get good arrangements, then go ahead and put those in the comments below, as I would love to hear how you guys are creating your arrangements. One of the biggest challenges that music producers face is turning an initial idea into a finished song that has your listeners wanting to hit the replay button. A song's arrangement is the way we map out the different elements in our song. When do these elements come in? When do they stop playing? How do the dynamics and timbre of these elements change over the entire song? When arrangements are done correctly, they breathe life into a song that you may have had trouble finishing. Arrangements can be the key to changing that cliche chord progression or melody into a standout moment. The reason that finding a compelling arrangement for your song can be difficult is there are very many track-dependent decisions that you need to make for every element in your track. Is this lead sound playing for too long? Do I need to add a variation to it every 8 bars? Does it mesh well with the other synths in my track? All these questions and many more come up when deciding how to arrange every element in your track, and the specific elements in your track will dictate how the arrangement should come together. Great! Getting a compelling arrangement for my song only requires me to make a bunch of decisions for every element in my track. This does not sound easy. Well, I have one simple technique that will take the guesswork out of arrangements. That is to map out the different sections and elements of a song that you like in the style or genre that you are working on. Let me explain. If you are struggling to get a solid arrangement for your track, you can pick a song that you think is well made in the genre that you are working in. Then import this song into your DAW. Then place your DAW's markers at the start of each section of the song and label them. That way you have a song structure that you know works. But we are not done there. Next, it is time to map out the elements of the song for each section. So create a MIDI track for every element that you hear in your reference song and label the channel. Then go through every section of the song and create a MIDI clip for however long that element plays in the track. Now when you go to start your song or continue to work on a song, you can use the mapped out track as a guide for where elements could go in your song and where certain sections could go. And don't worry, if this was a bit confusing, I will go over an example in the DAW in just a minute. Now, this arrangement technique works because it will help you find what elements will mesh together well and will help you understand why they work well together. So you might be saying to yourself, well, this kind of sounds like I'm just copying. There is no real creativity in this and you're just going to be a copycat artist. This couldn't be further from the truth. Just because you are mapping out the different elements and structure of a song that you like does not mean that you have to follow this specific structure. You want the song that you are working on to dictate what elements you choose, where they should be in the arrangement, and where the certain sections of your song should go. So you can use the mapped out song as little or as much as you seem fit for the track that you are working on. I would highly recommend using this arrangement technique if you are learning a new genre, as you are probably not familiar with the nuances of the genre yet, so having this mapped out template will help you stay on the right track. This technique will also help you become a better producer, And once you get a certain number of tracks done in a particular genre, then you will easily be able to create multiple arrangements and structures of the song in the specific genre that you are working on without having to use this technique. You will already have a mental checklist of what will work in this type of song, and you will find yourself being more creative as you can build on a song structure that you already know works and create something unique. So let's get into the DAW and map out part of a song so you can understand how to use this arrangement technique. So here we have a track made by me, Rumor, featuring Mats. And I'm going to show you how to map out part of the arrangement of this track, so you can use the skeleton to create your own arrangements. So first, we're going to map out the different sections of the track. So we'll start from the beginning here. It is important to note that with the track that you want to map, you'll want to lock the track to the grid that you're working on. Have it set up with the tempo of your track. If we hear, once I turn on the metronome, the track will be on time. Every DAW will allow you to map your track to the grid, so go ahead and do that before you start mapping out your track. Now let's go through the arrangement of the track first and set markers for each section. So right here is, of course, the intro. So let's go ahead and set our marker and label it intro. And then right here is our verse, where the vocal comes in. Let's go ahead and set a marker there and label it verse. It's important to note that in electronic music, a lot of changes in arrangement happen every 8 to 16 bars here. So pay attention to every 8 bars and 16 bars for that change. Let's continue. Right here we have a change, and it's the second part of the verse, so we can just call it verse part 2, or we can call it change, or really whatever we like here. Right here we have a little breakdown. And there's a little bit of a build up here. So label it build up. And then, of course, the start of our drop. And then another verse here. So you're going to want to go ahead and continue mapping out the arrangement for the entire track. I'm only going to do part of it here. And just having these markers set, you can really start your own track this way. So if you just delete the track, you have your arrangement set, and you can start filling in all the elements and knowing exactly when certain sections start and when certain sections end. Now going a step deeper here, we're going to go ahead and map out the elements in the track. That way we know what types of elements there are when they come in and when they go out. So let's loop our intro section here. So first thing we hear is a crash. So go ahead and open up a MIDI clip and go ahead and draw in where that crash was. You can see our MIDI clip here. I'll change it to a different color so that we can see it, yellow. And then we'll label this crash. And then I also heard a piano in there. Let's go ahead and open up another MIDI clip. And let's hear how long the piano went on for. Pretty much the entire length of the intro. Let's go ahead and put piano. Then I also heard a vocal come in here. Right here. Let's go ahead and open up another MIDI clip and do vocal. And another one right here. And then another reverse effect here. So that will be our intro. Those are the elements in our intro. And then we go ahead and group that here and label it intro. And showing you a little bit more of this mapping out, I'll go ahead and go on over to the drop. So go ahead and start labeling our elements, and we have a kick going here. And then we have a snare. And we can get as detailed as we would like here. We can listen to the specific rhythms, and we can really just map out our MIDI however that rhythm is being presented in the track. So if we really listen to the kick, one there, there's one there. And one here. Here. So we get as detailed as we would like here. It all depends on how much of the track that you are mapping out you want to mimic here. And if you just want to get a general feel and not get too much into the detail, you can always just go ahead and map out a whole MIDI clip of where the kick is playing. So we'll go ahead and do that here. Snare playing. Go ahead and see, those are probably playing the same spots as well. Go ahead and move that. So other elements that we can hear. So we have a synth lead that is playing the entire time here. Then we have a background synth playing. As well. And I also heard some little fills in there. Synth fills. And then so on and so forth for the entire track here. Now this is a bit of a time-consuming arrangement technique, but is the most beneficial. As once again, you see all the elements mapped out, you know when they come in, you know when they stop playing, you know what type of elements there are, and they really structure the way you make your track. And once again, this lends itself to plenty of creativity and is not simply just copying a song. If we go ahead and delete the main song that we have mapped out the arrangement of, and we just look at our MIDI notes, we can start filling in the instruments with the sounds that we like. So we can have a crazy distorted piano here. We can have any type of crash effect. We can have any type of kick. We can have any type of lead, any type of background synth, any type of synth fill. So just filling in these elements and not even paying attention to the track that we mapped out can give us radically different results. As this background synth, this lead, this synth fill, they could be anything. And once you start working on your track, you can start moving around the elements and find out really what works best for the song that you are working on. So once again, this is great for a guideline, a great starting point for you to get creativity sparked and get started on a structure that you know will be successful. So don't be lazy with this technique. Try it out and see just how beneficial it can be. Thank you for watching the tutorial, everyone. You now have a surefire way of getting a solid arrangement for the particular type of track that you are working on. Now, this technique may be a little time consuming, but I guarantee you that this will make you a better producer. So it is time well spent. Now, before I let you guys go, I just want to let you know about the SOUNDSHOCK audio website, where all your music production needs are met. On the site, there are free downloads in the form of presets, KONTAKT instruments, samples and loops, and plugins, as well as plenty more expert tutorials for you guys to learn more music production tips and techniques. And if you guys want to learn all things music production related when it comes to mixing and mastering, sound design, and arrangement, go ahead and click the subscribe button. That's it for this tutorial, everyone. Daniel from SOUNDSHOCK Audio out.